we would like to thank everyone for being here today to support Kristopher Dahir for Secretary of State. And we just want to say thank you for all the support that you guys always provide to us, the whole community. And I want to say, our mayor.
Yeah, here. Our mayor.
You want to talk?
No, say hi, Mayor, please. Always puts me on the spot.
I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight and for all of your support that you support us here at Chuy's and your support for Kristopher. And I hope that it will continue up until election time, that we'll all get out there and vote.
Yes.
Thank you. Here, salud.
Here. Salud. Thank you so much.
And I'll share a little bit around 5 o'clock, but I think everyone being here enjoys a little bit of food. If you did want to order something, please support these guys 100%. They open their doors for us and interrupted their business for us. But we'll have some people coming between 4 and 7, and so we'll have a few times so we get on and talk. But please grab me, ask any questions you have. I'll tell you the best answer that I know to be true. So I promise you that. But yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so as about town Deb, I'm Switzerland, but maybe not anymore because Switzerland is not so Switzerland. But I don't usually come out and support too many people. But if I'm ever going to support somebody, 100%, it is you. Because your integrity, because your kindness, your education, your knowledge, your experience. If you were to click all the boxes, you have clicked all the boxes, but as mom, thank goodness because you're mom, your integrity is really what says it all. So cheers to integrity and kindness and goodness.
Enjoy.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Good evening to you. Hello, everybody, and if you're not here for me, I apologize, but you get to hear this because you're in distance. But I'm Kristopher Dahir, running for Secretary of State, and if you're here with me, just make some noise. I want to tell you thank you. I was trying to wait for my lovely bride, but she might be a few more minutes, so I promise she's worth waiting for if you guys want to hang out a little longer, but feel free to chill. So I'm honored, first of all, I want to say, I have our mayor here. I appreciate him being here. Ed Lawson, thank you. If you live in the city of Sparks, we don't endorse a lot of people as we run, but I very much stand with our mayor and he's doing a great job. Thank you. And so, as a city councilman, I first want to say I love my job, and I am not going after Secretary of State because I'm trying to escape them. As a matter of fact, it's probably the heartburn of running for this is the thought that I might not be a city councilor in Sparks. Because I actually, truly, it's the first elected office I've had, and it's been fantastic. And so with that said, it almost makes it win or lose, I'm in a very, very good spot. Now with that said, I've watched a lot of different things. A lot of you know my background as a pastor, as a professor in leadership, a lot of things I do. Watching sometimes what happens on a state level hurts my heart and brain very bad. Because leadership principles matter, and that's what I bring to the table. Now, it doesn't mean we'll agree on every little piece of what people are saying right now. When I say that, Secretary of State has a lot of moving parts. There's 8 different main divisions to it. There's 3 main ones that you really have to focus on. Now, one of them you keep hearing in the news a lot is about voting. And without question, I believe whether you are Republican, Democrat, nonpartisan, no one should ever, ever question their vote. Do we agree with that? Okay. We are Americans first. And I'm not trying to quote anybody else but myself. We are Americans first, and that's what we do. And we need to make sure we are protecting that for our kids and set this political stuff aside for a moment and say, listen, no one can question our voting, and there's people who have questions, and we need to have answers, period. And so with that, there are some things that I think were put in law that I think are questionable, or let's go back and make sure we put enough around it to make sure that they're safe and no one has those questions. And so I will work hard on that, but they all come back to leadership principles. It's not just going in with a mallet to hit one thing. It's going in and building a team that can help lead us forward. That's one thing I like to do. I like to build a team. I like to invest in strong people and really make a difference. The main part of Secretary of State, though, is business. Business, business, business. I brought my sign. You might have saw my video out there. I have a video out there showing that this kind of happened to us, and I'm here to say this. We are open for business in Nevada. Amen? I don't believe we have an advocate on a state level for business. And I'm not picking on any elected leader, but when it comes down to it, they think of a lot of different things. But think about it. When businesses were closed down and we went up and down and through all the hoops that happened, there was no one on a state level saying, time out, what are we doing to our businesses? That gives you, and it's not just now, it really hasn't been there. It depends on the governor, what they may or may not do or whatever. And I believe Secretary of State's office should be that. Now, with that said, it's limited. I'm not a lawmaker. If I get to be Secretary of State, I know I'm not a lawmaker. But I am very noisy. I smile a lot. I treat people well, but I won't be quiet. Ask my mom. It's true. This is what I do. I lead strong, and we have good ideas. And then I'll pull people together if we disagree, which we will sometimes. I'll sit down and we'll talk about it. That's what leadership is. That's what we do, and that's what we pull together. There are some great ideas I believe I have for Secretary of State when it comes to business, things with some of our licenses, things that we work with our cities and our counties to even actually save us some money on all ends and some time for our businesses. So these things are crucial to me. They're not just to tell you so you vote for me. I want you to know these are things that should be happening because business is the lifeblood of our cities and of our families. If business didn't happen, we would be in trouble. Right? Okay, this is something we know has to function well. And so with that said, I'm actually going around. I have some of you guests here, and I'm trying to meet with lawyers, people who work in business. I want to hear back from them. It's so important. The third thing that I want you to know that's really important is I work a lot with our senior citizens on a regular basis. As a pastor, as a chaplain, but then also as city council in Sparks, we very much cherish our seniors. And what's happening with securities fraud, they are getting targeted all the time. Now, you think your phone blast blows up. Imagine if someone knew that you might actually give them money. You might get a few extra of those calls. And that's happening. And we have to educate and make sure we spend time with our seniors so they know it and really come against that. So with that said, those are the kind of things that matter to me. But here's the most important two things I think you should know about me. I value everybody. I really do. Even if you disagree with me, it does not mean I stop valuing you. I don't think I get to do that. The belief I have is that you are a very important human being, and we're going to take the time to find out all about you. So with that said, as we walk forward, I value people, and I will make sure we do our best to work together. That sounds very different than some politics these days, but if you know me, I'm telling you who I am. This is what I do. The other thing very important is leadership principles. They don't lie. When you walk and you live out leadership principles, they apply to any situation. So when somebody tells you, I want to fix this one thing right here, that's okay. Maybe they'll get that done, maybe not. But what happens when the next problem comes? And the next problem? If we don't have leadership principles in place, lived out, understood, trained, they're going to find that maybe they made a difference on that plate right there, but they really did not know how to serve the whole table. And that's something so important to this job. So I'm Kristopher Dahir, running for Secretary of State. And Titi wants to say something. I wasn't done, but she's...
Here's the thing, because he forgets to mention this part. So this is Kristopher. You all know Kristopher, and for those of you who don't, please take the time to get to know him. The thing is Kristopher is so busy serving you as your city councilman, on your water board, on your health board, on your homelessness advisory board. He is so busy, he forgets that we need money to keep going. And so I'm here to remind everybody that, listen, if you want to cut a check for $1,000, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no to anybody. But if you can do $22 for a win in 2022 for Kristopher Dahir, that means the world to us. Because if 10 people do $22, it starts to add up really fast, right? So please consider, if you believe in Kristopher, you believe in his message, please visit our website, see me. I will always accept money. I have a nice little bucket right here. I can QR code it. I can take a check. Shoot, I'll take cash. Whatever you guys want. But please consider giving to this cause. Okay, thank you.
I do want to say one other thing, if you don't mind. If you would go to my website. My son just got done doing some extra work on this. We are having one little internet problem, is that we did not list some things as well as we should have for the algorithms of Google. This is true. This is exactly what I've been told. But if you go on there right now, we just did some upgrades just today. And with that said, it will help kind of bump everything up. So if everyone goes on there and just clicks a few things, checks out a few things, it will help me on the Google run of what we're doing and start getting some things back in place. So that's kdahir.com, kdahir.com. If you go on there, share it with somebody if you'd like. But I definitely would help kind of just get those algorithms moving in the right place. Or go on social media, that's always helpful too. But the Google part, my website, I really need as many people to visit as possible. So with that said, I will come around. If you have any questions, please, I'm happy to answer them to the best of my ability. I can tell you, people want to ask me, was there fraud? Was there fraud? I can tell you, I don't know. I don't know. Now I can say this, in my heart of hearts, I don't like what's happening. If there was ever a fraud that did happen, it's when laws were changed right before a game began. So if that, without question, we can prove. The other stuff I can say, I want to come in and make sure that nobody feels like we got sucker punched. Nobody feels like this, because that is a problem for sure. So with that said, I've talked to people on all the gambit, okay? And with that said, I get beat up because I'm not willing to say for sure there was fraud, but I need to hold that in my hand. If I'm going to get up and say that, I need to know for sure, and I need to see the proof. And with that said, in the end, whether you have fraud or not, you cannot have people feeling like they were cheated and think we're okay with it. So with that said, whatever we find, but I know when I get in there, because I will inspect everything meticulously, we will know for sure what is happening or what is not happening very quickly. So anyway, many blessings. Please, please be a part of what we're doing. We definitely are working on getting stuff out there. We need everyone voting. And so you know, June 14th is the primary. You do have to be registered as a Republican to be able to vote for me. If you're not, and there's some people who are not, and if you're willing to switch over for that time, it doesn't hurt my feelings, okay? That's on June 14th. But at the same time, it will go all the way to November once we get past the primary. So anyway, if you have anybody you ever want me to meet, anybody you think should know who I am, I'm happy to chat with them. But God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me that people will stand with you. Thank you. Remember, business is open.
Down there, but then I moved up here. I love it here. I stand at a business, voting, God bless you. Have a great day.